money up even further. Mortgage rates hit an almost 20-year high. The inflation is triggering concerns of a possible recession. Fed Chair Jerome Powell acknowledged those concerns, but said persistent inflation would bring greater economic suffering than a recession would. And the Fed isn't done yet. It's likely to enact another 0.5% hike in December. Going out to eat on Thanksgiving this year may actually save you some money. Eating at a restaurant usually costs more than making a meal at home. Wells Fargo analysts reviewed consumer price index data and found prices at restaurants are going up slower than at the grocery store. The CPI shows the cost of food at restaurants is up nearly 6% since last November. Prices at grocery stores are up nearly 10%. Analysts also say grocery store prices change more rapidly with the rise and fall in commodity costs.
3 people have been charged in the shooting of 2 dogs in South Lansing.
Ingham County Animal Control tells us that on August 4th, a call came in on 2 dogs being shot behind the Boys and Girls Club in Lansing. When officers got there, they found the dogs dead. Officials tell us they were able to identify 3 suspects. Tommy Allen has been charged with conspiracy to commit the killing of an animal, and more. Tommy Thayer was charged a few of the same, along with the addition of aiding and abetting the killing of an animal. And Karen Curtis has also been charged. Thayer is currently being held in the Ingham County Jail on a $50,000 bond. The other 2 have been released. General Motors is recalling nearly 340,000 big SUVs because their daytime running lights may not turn off when the regular headlights are on.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says in documents posted on its website that having both lights on at the same time could cause glare for oncoming drivers, which could increase the risk of a crash. The recall covers certain 2021 Chevrolet Tahoes and Suburbans, as well as some GMC Yukons and Cadillac Escalades. GM says it has no reports of any crashes or injuries caused by the problem. Dealers will update software that controls the lights. Owners will be notified by mail starting December 19th. Positions are shifting in the legislature as the effects of Tuesday's election plays out at the Capitol.
Senior political reporter Elle Myers gives us a rundown of who is in leadership.
The legislature is starting to look a little different after Tuesday's election. For the first time in 40 years, Democrats have control of both chambers, and that means new leadership at the top. Senator Winnie Brinks was unanimously elected Thursday to serve as the new Democratic Senate Majority Leader. It's a position that hasn't seen a woman occupy it, ever. Brinks was first elected to the legislature in 2012 in the Michigan House and was elected to the Senate 6 years later in 2018. Brinks said in a statement, quote, "Along with Democratic leadership in the House and governor's office, we are ready to lead a legislature that prioritizes people over politics." Senate Republicans also voted to fill the minority leader position on Thursday. State Senator Eric Nesbitt of Lawton was elected. For now, I'm your senior political reporter, Elle Myers, Fox 47 News.
Walking through the South Side, you may notice cones and businesses that have been here for years. But the new Ingham County Commissioner representing the area is hoping that an investment in the youth will be an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, I'm 24 years old.
Young, eager, and ambitious, Miles Johnson says he's more than ready to take office.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Miles Johnson, running for County Commissioner. I felt like County Commissioner would be a great place to start and make a difference locally because it is a very local position.
A local position that Miles was able to secure during Tuesday night's election with over 75% of the vote. He credits his Southside roots for his overwhelming win.
I grew up in South Lansing, born and raised, went to Sexton High School, went to Dwight Rich, Bowling Green State University, and then I came back in 2021 to serve.
Miles will be one of 15 Ingham County commissioners deciding where county money goes. He hopes to put funding into public safety to decrease crime on the south side and put some money towards youth development.
I really would like to teach the kids entrepreneurship, because that's one thing that helped me stay out of the streets and falling into that type of lifestyle. So I feel like if I help them with learning how to make money or just changing their mindset as they grow and continue, they'll be different citizens, not even different, but they'll just be better.
Miles will be sworn in on January 1st, and he's confident that he's the right person for the job.
I believe in myself. I believe Lansing needs change, specifically South Lansing needs change right now. So I'm gonna step up and do it.
Reporting here on the south side of Lansing, I'm Larry Wallace, Fox 47 News.
After a heated race for Grand Ledge Public Schools Board of Education, the winners were announced Wednesday morning. Denise Dufort, who was already a member of the school board, was re-elected to another 6-year term. And Ashley Q. Kendall was also elected to the board, both of them getting over 8,000 votes. Ashley O'Neill and Jason Devenbaugh also won 6-year terms. Tony Hughes and Kim LaForte also were re-elected to a partial term that ends in 2026. All candidates expressed strong views about wanting to better Grand Ledge Public Schools, and we'll take a deeper look into each candidate as they begin their terms. In Grand Ledge, I'm Asia Lawrence, Fox 47 News.
Watching Fox 47 Morning News.
One more workday until we can officially kick off the weekend, and it looks like it's going to be a nice weekend of weather, but we may finally get some snow.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
And it's Michaela's fault.
Let's just hope that it's not a whole lot, it doesn't stick to the ground, and safe travels for everybody still, because you know that snow, the first snow, is never fun here in Michigan for driving. So.
No, but if it does snow, we can make snow angels.
True, here comes your snow angels. You said the snow angels, maybe this is your fault.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I'll take half of the blame.
We'll split it. Well, here with an extended look at our forecast is meteorologist Haley Vaughn. Welcome back, Haley.
Good morning and happy Friday, Mid-Michigan. We are tracking mostly cloudy skies for today as a strong cold front crosses the state. A few stray showers will be possible, so don't forget your rain gear as you step out the front door. Temperatures will be much colder as we progress throughout the day. A temperature of 47 by 5 p.m. So as we take a look at our future feels like temperatures, by 6 a.m. this morning, we're in the 50s. We actually are going to start to drop leading into around 11:30 in the morning. Crashing temperatures for the afternoon, where our feels like will be around 31 degrees by 7 p.m. The feels like will stay mainly in the upper 20s to lower 30s throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday. Our winds are really a big factor in that as well. Strong winds for this afternoon and evening, with the daytime high temperature technically at 57 degrees. But we met that early this morning. Temperatures are only going to get colder as we continue throughout the day, and the winds, of course, will be strong. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and an overnight low of 33 degrees. Winds from the northwest mainly around 12 miles per hour. We'll get a look at our complete 7-day forecast and just how long that cooler air will hang around coming up.
47 years ago this week, a violent storm blew across the Great Lakes, sinking the Edmund Fitzgerald. The wreck happened just northwest of Whitefish Point in Lake Superior. All 29 crew members were lost as the ship sank.
The Edmund Fitzgerald was first launched on June 7, 1958, and was the largest carrier on the Great Lakes until '71. It was the first carrier to haul more than 1 million tons of iron ore pellets through the locks at Sault Ste. Marie, earning the nickname the Pride of the American Flag. On November 9, 1975, the Fitzgerald left Superior, Wisconsin for Detroit's Zug Island. Within 24 hours, the ship was fighting hurricane-force winds and waves up to 25 feet. Eventually, the Fitzgerald vanished from radar only 17 miles from shore. Every year, ceremonies are held for families and friends of the lost crewmen.
Well, if you ever wanted to see the state capitol from above, cheer on MSU over Spartan Stadium, or experience the thrill of flying 100 miles per hour over the city, you can. It's all thanks to My Flight Tours, the largest helicopter tour operator in the state.
They've just started offering new tours from the Capital Region International Airport. The company offers 3 tours in the area, a quick flyover of the downtown Lansing area, a lap above Spartan Stadium, and a longer flight that combines both the downtown Lansing and MSU campus tours. Prices range from $50 to $300 per person. Each helicopter can accommodate up to 3 people with no age limit. Just head to myflighttours.com and get your flight all set up.
You want to go?
No, thank you.
Why?
I am not a heights person. I don't do roller coasters. I feel like it would make me sick.
Michaela, it'll be fun.
I would love the view. I wish I could enjoy it more without being a nervous wreck. I would literally be holding on like my life depended on it.
I got on a small plane in my first TV market. Didn't know I was getting on. I got on and I felt every bump and every jump and anything, and I was sick. But I've been on planes, I've been in helicopters, so I love it. So I want to go.
A future things to do.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
But I want you to come.
I know. I'll watch from the ground. You can wave at me from up in the air while I'm safely planted on the ground.
Okay.
Well, tonight you can check out some of the Fox 47 News team lacing up their basketball shoes at Williamston High School for a celebrity game versus the Harlem Wizards, including Tiana.
Hey, we playing basketball. But yes, I'm planning on getting buckets, crossing people over, and breaking some ankles. No, I'm just kidding. But it's going to be a really, really good time. Our senior reporter, Larry Wallace, and our producer, Travis Hicks, will be joining me along with other local celebrities in the area. And all proceeds will go to support the Williamston Performing Arts Foundation. If you would like to go ahead to the Williamston Performing Arts Foundation Facebook page for tickets and more details.
I wish you guys luck tonight.
Why aren't you in the game?
I can't do sports like that. Maybe if it was a dance-off, I could have been there, but you know, I'm supporting and rooting you guys from afar and off of the court where it's going to be safe for me and everybody else.
Thank you. I'm going to get some buckets for you.
Yes, please do. Your first one will be because of me.
I'm going to be like, this is for Michaela.
Yes, just don't miss because that'll be embarrassing.
Oh, that would be so embarrassing. It feels like we just wrapped up Halloween and now we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, and with that, the busiest travel day of the year.
This week for Table Talk on the Road, we take off to Capital Region International Airport to learn some tips for making traveling as smooth as possible for you at home. Welcome back to Table Talk.
'Tis the season of holidays, which means a lot of you might be traveling home to see your friends and family.
That's right. We all know how the saying goes, there's no place like home for the holidays. But that means airports are going to be busy.
This morning, we are joined by Catherine Japinga with the Capital Region International Airport for some tips on holiday travel. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So what are some reminders for people going through TSA that they should know before coming?
Sure. You know, one of the things about holiday travel that we all will experience is an increase in passengers. So it's simple things, making sure that you understand sort of the TSA checkpoint protocols and refreshing your memory. A lot of people who travel during the holidays may only travel once a year and they're not routine travelers. And so making sure you know things that can and can't go through TSA is a really great way to make sure your trip is smooth and stress-free and you start off on the right foot.
Awesome. And my favorite part of traveling, especially during the holidays, is gifts. So what are some tips you have with people traveling with gifts?
Sure. So that's one of the biggest things. And, you know, we're not thinking about this all the time. People travel with gifts and they think I'm going to have these wrapped, ready to go. But like anything else, they have to go through security. So if you do run a gift through security and it needs further inspection and it's wrapped, unfortunately, it might have to get unwrapped. So we always want to remind people that, you know, travel with your gifts unwrapped. That way you don't have to run into any of those types of issues.
Awesome. So this might be the first time that some people are traveling in a couple years with everything that we've been through with the pandemic. So what are some other reminders that people need to think about when coming to the airport?
Sure, and like we've said, travel during the holidays is extra busy. So even if you're flying through an airport like Lansing, where you can always count on real short security lines, stress-free check-in, easy parking, all of the great things about flying Lansing, it is still really smart to give yourself a little bit of extra time when you're coming to the airport to make sure that you are in the lines in plenty of time. You can get to your gate, you can get through TSA, and again, it's giving yourself a little bit of an extra buffer. That way, you know you're going to get to your gate on time and you're not going to experience any delays or cancellations or anything like that.
Awesome. Do you have any tips for people who are going to be traveling with their little ones or like big families?
Sure, and I think that, again, same thing, just giving yourself that little bit of extra time. We typically suggest that people give themselves maybe about 2 hours before their departure to make sure they can get checked in, get through TSA, and if you've got a group and family and young ones, then that way you just have all that time in the world to get through and you're not stressed out, you're not, rushing to get to your gate to make sure that you're boarding on time.
Right. How do you feel, during this time of year when you're seeing families taking trips together and spending the holidays, going to visit other families?
Sure. It's so heartwarming to see all of these families getting together, and that's why it's really nice to do the little bit of prep before your trip. So it's such a nice, fun holiday time. You want to start your holidays off right. The last thing that you want to be dealing with is a stressful travel experience. So those are the types of things that can really make that experience extra special.
Absolutely. Well, I know I'm lucky enough where I don't have to travel for the holidays because my family is here, but what about you? I know your family.
My family is in D.C., North Carolina.
Well, there you go. Well, at the Lansing airport, we do have a direct flight to D.C., so you can get on and get there, and I think the flight's about, 90 minutes or so. Couldn't be easier.
So
there you go.
I can come home, Dad.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And now if you are planning on traveling for the holidays, make sure you get your plans squared away now because Thanksgiving is coming up fast and then Christmas is not long after that. So get those plans done and we'll be back right after this short break.
Over 20.
Watching Fox 47 Morning News.
Welcome back to Fox 47 Morning News.
We're in our last half hour this morning, so let's finish it off with some more headlines from your neighborhoods and across the nation.
President Joe Biden says he will announce his plans for 2024 after the new year. President Biden says he doesn't feel a need to announce his intentions despite a possible campaign launch by former President Donald Trump next week. The former president said he will make a big announcement on the 15th from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. President Biden said his intention is to run again, but it will ultimately be a family decision and doesn't feel a need to hurry making his plans known.
The World Health Organization says global COVID deaths are a fraction of what they were 9 months ago, but it is too early to call the pandemic over. The WHO reported 9,400 global COVID deaths last week. That's down from more than 75,000 weekly global deaths in February. The Director General of the WHO says there is reason for optimism, but called on governments and individuals to remain vigilant. The number of new COVID cases was just more than 2 million last week, a 15% drop from the previous week.
Stephanie Poga says she was terrified after waking up in the middle of the night to find her 2-year-old son Dexter struggling to breathe.
I called the EMS to meet me at a gas station. We went to the ER and we found that he had endovirus and RSV. He got up to the point where he was needing 15 liters of oxygen.
After 8 days, she requested her son be transferred to a children's hospital about 3 hours away from her home near rural Kingman, Arizona.
After 4 days, he got better. He was no longer spiking fevers.
There are fewer hospital inpatient beds for children as health systems regionalize, focusing on more specialized care in cities. A 2021 Harvard study found over the past decade an average of 34 pediatric units closed each year in hospitals, about 400 beds removed annually. 25 rural hospitals have closed in the past 2 years alone, according to data from the University of North Carolina.
There is no other children's hospital between LA and Oakland. We are it. So everywhere in the middle of the state, we are receiving patients from some of the poorest counties and a lot of rural counties with poor access to healthcare.
Dr. Karen Dahl is with Valley Children's Hospital in Madera, California. They care for patients from 12 surrounding counties in the state. She says their flu and RSV cases are rising and expects more patients to show up in the ER.
We don't have pediatric urgent care in our area. and bigger cities have those, and we do not. So it's just the emergency department.
Her worry, having enough staff. She expects more staff out sick as the respiratory infections spread.
We're working with our local primary cares and making sure they feel adequately prepared to evaluate in their offices as well, so we can sort of spread the pressure around the system.
As for Stephanie and Dexter Pogus, he's recovered and is back home.
I didn't hear his laugh for 2 weeks and I thought it was going to be gone forever, and now here he is back.
Mom says she's very happy and very relieved.
The opioid crisis is causing devastating consequences in communities across Metro Detroit.
Fentanyl, the deadliest substance to ever hit the streets, is now found in the majority of street drugs. Now, out of necessity, policy leaders are expanding their efforts beyond prevention by ramping up methods of harm reduction.
Amira David from our sister station in Detroit takes a look at how tens of thousands of people in our community are now being trained to be first responders on the front lines.
The evolution of drugs has changed, and it's accelerated in a way that we couldn't even have imagined.
The fight against fentanyl. The grip of one of the most common drugs in overdose deaths continues to tighten.
It's happening across all demographics, all types of people.
The sobering statistics show in 2021, 2,920 people died from drug overdoses, making it the deadliest year on record, a 9% increase from the year before. Treatment options for long-term drug users are growing, but not keeping pace with demand, prompting policy leaders to turn to a new approach: harm reduction.
So you take it off, hold it, you're going to block one of their nostrils, just one plunge.
That means demand for Narcan or naloxone, the drug that can reverse an overdose with just a simple spray into the nose. Trainings on how to use this little life-saving tool are now in overdrive.
So here's how Narcan works on the brain.
And happening in some of the most unexpected places, including schools and the Royal Oak Public Library, where I met Steve Norris, a harm reduction specialist with the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities.
Why are librarians and other staffers so important to train?
Because they are first responders. They come in contact with the community.
In this new reality, an understanding that even librarians may have to assume the role of first responders, religious leaders also seeing the need. This walk-up drive-through training happening at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield. In the past 3 years, the Alliance has educated 28,000 Metro Detroiters, with 15,000 of them trained in this year alone.
So those numbers show that they've skyrocketed this year.
They have skyrocketed.
As the devastating effects on communities in the suburbs of Detroit continue to take hold.
She was totally blue, not breathing.
Rick McGuffey's family was driving down Davison and Hamtramck when they spotted a woman being pulled from a car.
Asked the boyfriend if she was overdosing, and he said, yes, she is.
McGuffey sprung into action using a Narcan kit, ultimately saving her life. The irony is that he himself has been in long-term recovery from drug use. Today, he is 6 years sober and working to help others addicted.
Do you think there's a stigma at all around the use of Narcan?
I hear different things. Some people believe it's enabling.
Do you often encounter that kind of thinking?
Yeah, that's the mindset that we're trying to overcome right now.
The continued need to shift stigma on the topic is what drives Norris, who has also fought his own substance abuse battle and today has to cope with immeasurable loss.
My first loss was my best friend in April of 2020, and then another really good friend in May.
In the last 2 years, Norris has lost 7 friends and 1 family member to accidental overdose, prompting him to question if someone around them with knowledge of Narcan could have saved their life and afforded them the chance to get better.
For the people that do make that choice to help themselves, the impact they have on their communities, the impact they have on their families, it's so amazing.
I'm Amira David.
Another twist in the crypto world. Binance, one of the world's largest crypto exchange companies, says it's not going to buy its embattled rival FTX. The company says it looked into FTX's finances and noticed the mishandling of customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations. Without Binance buying it, FTX is poised to collapse, along with the rest of founder Bankman-Fried's vast crypto empire. According to the Wall Street Journal, Bankman-Fried told investors it needs about $8 billion in emergency funding. No word yet from Binance on the decision to pull out of the acquisition. Recreational marijuana experienced mixed results on election night. Maryland and Missouri voters approved measures to legalize recreational cannabis. North Dakota, South Dakota, and Arkansas voted against it. Maryland voters approved their measure with 61% of the vote. Missouri voters passed their legislation with 53% of the vote. 21 states and the District of Columbia now offer legalized marijuana to residents. Before we head to a break, let's send it over to Ryan in New York to see how they're finishing out their week on Live. Good morning, Ryan.
Morning, guys. Coming up on Live with Kelly and Ryan, we'll chat with Justin Hartley plus Lindsay Lohan from Falling for Christmas. See you soon on Live.
Catch another edition of Morning Blend with Bob and Deb right now.
Vania Hall, Events by Vania, is joining us again in studio. Okay, prime wedding season is over. Can you take a breath now and take a break? Or
No.
What's
No.
now?
Wedding season ends. Now it's holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
Holiday season takes the forefront for a while, and then as soon as holiday season is over, it's wedding season all over again. That's how it goes.
It's just,
That's how it goes.
There's a lot of people partying.
Right.
All right, so you're thinking about holiday season. What should viewers do to prepare if they're thinking about an event?
Well, first off, if you don't have your venue yet, you're way behind schedule. It's such a compacted season.
Yeah.
You've got it booked now if you haven't booked already. And then after that, you definitely want to start thinking about, your decorations and things like that because of all the supply chain issues. If there's something specific you're looking for, it's going to be hard to get it on short notice.
Is holiday season a little less stressful than wedding season for you?
It's a different kind of stress.
Okay.
Because as I just mentioned, it's a very compacted time. You've got a couple of months to get everything done. And most people don't start thinking about Christmas until Halloween's over and they start seeing the trees go up in the retail stores.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh crap, the Christmas party. And you're trying to plan for that, and then you've only got a couple of months to get it done.
And the weather is so confusing right now. I'm like, Christmas is next month.
Right.
Right. Like, how is that possible? New Year's is next month or the month.
Right.
So you have a special for our viewers.
I do. Normally we just do the 20% off on planning fees.
Yeah.
But now through the holidays, we're also offering 10% off on all of our rentals.
Oh.
So whether it's tablecloths or centerpieces, whatever rentals we have, we're offering that 10% on that in addition to our regular 20%.
So is it becoming more common that with holiday parties, some people are kind of pushing them into January, especially if it's a work-related thing?
I see that a little bit, but most of them still try to pull them off in December because everybody's time off ends at the end of the month and then everybody's back at the beginning of January, so they really don't have the extra time.
Okay.
I bet people are watching thinking, oh my gosh, then is it too late for me? What should I do?
It's not too late. Give me a call. We'll do whatever we can to get your party situated as long as we have the date available.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about a wedding next summer, reach out now and it'll be easier for everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone gets engaged over Christmas and then my phone starts ringing again in January.
Okay.
You have lots of different decorations and supplies too for people, right?
Absolutely. Any holiday, all different kinds of things. I just got done with all my fun, creepy Halloween stuff, but I've got great stuff for Christmas and Thanksgiving and fall parties as well.
We'll make it easy. Events by Vania. Give her a call or go to our website, eventsbyvania.com. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.